So they was asking Zerto Ramirez about Java Time recently and the matchup in the future and unifying at that cruiserweight division and trying to be undisputed. We know that Zerto Ramirez now has 2 belts, and he's putting himself in a position where he's going to be fighting on Jake Paul's co-main event in 2 weeks. And he seems like he's in the driver's seat right now. He's the guy that everybody's going after. And I think he was the last guy to show up at cruiserweight. So, he showed up and jumped right into things. He had a good fight with Joe Smith Jr., and then had another fight after that at cruiserweight with Galamarian. So, he's in position right now where he can do it, whatever. But right now, with Ja Vata's name flown out there, Zotto eventually let everybody know that that's a fight that he would like to have. But to be honest with you, he hasn't had any talks with Ja Vata yet. They haven't had any discussions, anything as far as the future. It's been talks in the media about it, but he said he hasn't spoken to him on the phone, hasn't reached out, called him. Nothing, to be honest with you. Huge news for me because I thought that Zerto and Ja was already in talks about having a fight together. To know that they haven't had talks yet is very surprising to me. Um, I thought that already would have been handled a long time ago, and for that fight not to be handled, it's very confusing. But it's not really because there's been a lot of things going on around that division. Zerto hasn't been there long. That's a big fight for Zerto if that was to happen. But Zerto has a lot of options. He's still the guy who has all the belts, most of them as far as that cruiserweight. And if anybody should be contacted, it should be him. He should be contacted by Ja Fatah's team. We know that Ja Fatah is working hand in hand with Turkey Al Sheikh. He's been signed with him. One of the first fighters actually signed with Riyadh season, if not the first fighter that was signed with him back way early when the British thing first popped off. That was supposed to already happen, but yeah, he was one of the first fighters to actually be in the mix. So, he's been around. They know what the schedule is and everything that's going on. So I wouldn't necessarily call it ducking. But as Zerto knows, he hasn't been a cruiserweight long, so people are asking him about a fight with Ja, but he hasn't put himself in position to actually have that fight because he has to be contacted first and talked about with that situation. And Zerto already said that it's easier fights to be made at cruiserweight because he's already been contacted by a lot of guys at cruiserweight without belts as well, top contenders, big fights, big money fights. He already been contacted by a lot of those guys. So um, as far as the John Baton situation, it's just talk at this point because I had to actually have some kind of contact with him. Hasn't spoken to him over the phone or had any talks from his team. So at this point right now, it's just rumors and hearsay. Uh, he says it's other fights that's more, I would say, available, realistic at this point right now. He wouldn't say that the Avatar fight could not happen right now, but it's just not in a part where they had talks with it yet. There's been other fights discussed as far as talks. And from what I've known, I didn't think they were in talks with the Avatar fight. I would be surprised they actually said they was in talks right now. That's why I haven't reported it because it seemed like something that just far-fetched a little bit. It don't seem like something that'll actually happen at this point right now. But yeah, it's a good matchup though. Very good matchup. I think that if they could put that together, that'll actually work. It will work. It's not a lot of things in cruiserweight right now they can actually do so. Yeah, that would be a good option to actually have at that fight, man. If you go through your career without having that fight, that'll be a bad look. But I think Zerto, he confident enough right now. He's not waiting on other champions to make the move and uh, contact them and everything like that. He's just moving on and taking hard fights too. A lot of these fights he's having, the average person would get knocked out off of his performances, but he's fighting some guys that don't want to give up their cruiserweight belt. It's not like how these guys treat 140. That belt is very difficult to hang on to, so not trying to let go of a belt. A lot of these guys, it took a lot of work for them to get those belts they have. So at cruiserweight, they're not trying to just give up these belts and be in position where they get hurt or anything like that. I think it's very a big deal if they watch out for what they actually have going on. Because once you lose, look at how Glanton did recently. Glanton had a tough fight against Billy and Smith, but ended up losing. And he's far away from being a champion now. He was already far before because he had tough losses, very close losses. But now he's even further away from being a champion. But we'll see though.